very interesting game. Great start due to my coaching motivational techniques. I think we were lucky to be the home team, so I'd like to thank the CBI, Rich Enzer, our commissioner, and most of all, John Dargenio has worked tirelessly for the last week. I'm telling you, it's not me, it's him. Him and Nate Mason, tickets, everybody, getting everyone organized, and John's hands-on guy. We're very lucky to have him. That being said, I think the home court won us because I think our first 5 minutes won it. It was an interesting game in terms of like Levon doesn't score, Emo doesn't score, Javion doesn't score, but Brett Bisping's turned it into one great player. You know, that was on Brett. Obviously, he took it a little personal that he wasn't recruited by Illinois State. A double-double is great. I thought Poole was really good early. And Ryan Oliver, I'm afraid to talk about Ryan Oliver because it might like jinx him. That guy's been playing so good for us. And that's because he played in the Max. Ryan from Beverly Hills. He tries to say he's from Compton. He's not. He went to Loyola High School in Beverly Hills. It's like the second most expensive school in the country. Ryan Oliver had found out, and he adapted to the MAC. You know, we're representing the MAC. It's a tough league. It has good guards. There's a lot of undersized guys that can really play lots of positions, and I think Ryan figured out that we weren't going to come to him. He was going to have to come to us. Evan made some big shots. I didn't think Evan was ready early. That being said, I'll take some questions. We were lucky. Poole and Brett were really ready to go early. Javion played good defense, and Ryan Oliver continues to just be a great six-man. I'll take any questions.
How pleased were you with that start you got off to, considering you'd been in a tough game with Penn State 2 days ago?
Yeah, I was really pleased with that, except I wasn't pleased with Levon. Levon, I thought he thought it was going to be easy because Penn State. Levon's an interesting cat. I love Levon, but I was mad at him because he didn't pick up Evan Himes off the floor. It's different when your name's called. Like he was on their board, number 24, as our second best player because all they did was watch last game. There's only one day. That's all we did. I thought Brett and Poole were unbelievable, and that's why I subbed Ryan early. Ryan went in there and just gave us minutes. Even though he didn't make his first threes, he made them. You know, Illinois State's a really good team. I wouldn't want to play them in the future. I don't believe they start a senior, and that big guy's really good. I tried to trade for him at halftime. They said no. 22, Reggie Lynch, 15-7. He's good. But it had to. I mean, if you look at the game, Single Ace, and you take away the first 5 minutes, it's an even game. But we won that 9-0, and that's because the kids were ready to play, and we got good fans.
Yeah, Jimmy, just what's your reaction to being in the finals of this tournament?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's I mean, no one thought we would have 18 wins. Me neither. I wouldn't have taken that bet either. The only person that thought would have a winning record this year is Gary Williams. He said after he watched our team practice that we could have a winning record because we can because he's from the same hometown as Poole too, but won't hold that against either one of them. He thought we could have a winning record because he was the first guy that said, boy, that Brett Bisping's good. He reminds us of the Terrapin foremen, which are hardworking, grinding, shooting, face up, do a little of everything dirty work. And he knew Poole could play and he knew Himes could play. And then, you know, the young guys, he just figured they were from Maryland, so they're good. That's how we look at that because we have good guys from Maryland. He really thought we could have a winning record, and right now we do. I mean, it's a tremendous accomplishment, but, I mean, 3,900 people in 2 days' notice is unbelievable. You know, like I said, that's a credit to the fans here, to Dargenio, but I'm just happy we're representing the MAC because our league sometimes doesn't get enough recognition. You know, I just proud that we're letting guys know that we came in 5th place, so imagine what the rest of our league's like.
What about the series? You got a best of 3 series. It's a whole different ballgame.
I made it to the NBA. Oh, there's my check. No, I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. No, they overpay me here. I didn't mean it that way, but it wasn't, you know. Phil Jackson's getting $60 million. Perfect. I accept. I'm the new coach of the Knicks. No, I'm just kidding. No, I told the team at halftime, I said maybe I was a little too wanting to win this game too much because I'd like to coach in this series. I grew up 5 minutes from Boston Garden. Boston Garden was so sold out, Single Ace. You remember this. We had to get them behind each other in the lows, kind of with the poles in the way. But I always thought it was fascinating because I grew up watching Larry Bird, and Dennis Johnson was my favorite guy. I'm a different cat. I liked him. What happens when you lose one game? How do you come back the next? I mean, if I need to get angry at any one moment, all I think of is Magic Johnson taking an inbounds pass on the baseline and hitting a jump hook. Game 4, we win that game, and I say we as the Celtics, we win that series. And remember, the series things, you know what it is, great question? The series thing to me is interesting because and I hate to bring the Celtics up. Remember St. Louis, they won the game 1 by 40 points, and everybody was like, here it comes, and they lost the series. Like, in other words, it doesn't matter what happens one game. It's what happens the next game, you know? And my buddy Cashman will give me advice about losing the first game of the Major League Series, like 11-0, and then coming back and winning 4 in a row. So it's exciting to be in a playoff series where you can, it's probably a little more of a chess match, you know, because I got to see what they do. I guess we're going on the road. We don't know where yet. Doesn't matter because the charter jet will get us there. That's right. I forgot about the NBA. We'll go and we'll play, and no matter what, we'll have a chance to come back here. And I think that's going to be a very, you know, like I watched the LeBron James thing, and all they had to do was win one game in San Antonio, and they knew they had to win a chance to win. In other words, whether we win or not, I know the game. I know it's coming back here, and I'm interested to see. You know, it's going to be fun, but that's it. Anybody want my Final Four tickets? Because now I can't go. You can have them.
How much has this team improved as the season progressed?
As much as you can. I mean, no, really. Once again, I mean, I'll tell you what. There was some turning points in our season. Playing the Old Spice, and we lost, and we went 0-3. And I told the commissioner I didn't like that tournament, but I was as usual incorrect, and he was correct. And I see him back there, and he'll tell you, Rich. I thought the turning point of our season was when we hung in there with Purdue, right, Rich? We actually probably not that we should have beat them because this isn't Little League, but like. We got lost to Purdue, and St. Joe's, you know, they were no good, except they made the tournament. And Memphis was no good, except they made the tournament and won a game. So, in other words, at least Purdue, we got on the plane back from Disney World, and we're like, hey, at least we can, we got a lot of good out of that. And that was 3 games in 3 days. And we built from there, and the next thing we did was we won at Niagara. Then we had a couple home games, and then winning at Fairfield was huge, you know, tough road game. And then there was, I mean, I'll tell you what, Quinnipiac's a good addition to our league. I think both Monmouth and Quinnipiac are. But Quinnipiac, like, nice facility, good team. We were a miracle to win that game, you know, and they went to the postseason. So the MAC gets you ready. As Bob Burns told me, the great thing about the MAC is you're playing everybody twice, whether you like it or not. And so that gets you ready because you have to play Iona twice. You have to play Manhattan twice, Quinnipiac twice, Monmouth twice. Ryder had 2 really good players. Mason's the leading scorer in the country. So I think the MAC really prepared us, and the MAC sending us to the Old Spice, although I'm not going to lie, at the time I didn't think it was a very fun trip. I wasn't hanging out with Mickey Mouse, but everybody else going down the water slide, I'm like, we just lost by 50. I'm going to kill Enzer. But to play at Purdue was probably the turning point of our season in terms of knowing that we could play better, and that's why the MAC has a lot of guts and courage to go to these good tournaments. Thanks a lot to players.